It took me 26 months to get to this moment. 26 months of work, tests, small wins and big fails. After great success with Anubias and boost propagation, I really wanted to show you how to propagate Java Ferns because you requested it. And now, after many struggles, I'm finally ready to show you everything. What to do, what not to do, what to watch out for. So please enjoy the longest experiment on plant propagation I have ever conducted and watch till the end. I promise it will be worth it, because when you're done with the short video, you will be able to safely propagate 3 Java Ferns and you will avoid all the traps that were waiting for me along the way. As always, I will be very direct and focus only on the facts, not to waste your time. To start Java Fern propagation project, you will only need few things. Let's start from a container. Plastic food container like this one will be just perfect. 2 things about it are important. First, it needs to have transparent lid, because it cannot block any light that will reach your plants. That lid doesn't need to be airtight. It even shouldn't be, because good ventilation is very important, but more on that later. Second thing is the height. It's better if your container is quite shallow. Having very tall one will reduce the amount of light reaching your plants, so that would be just wasteful. Next thing we need is something that can hold our plants. I like to use those kind of raster grids for that purpose. I placed a link to those grids in the description, but there are many other things that you can use. So don't focus on that too much, because you can be creative here. Basically anything that will hold your plants 2 centimeters above the bottom of the container will be good. Now let's talk about our starter plants. And this is quite easy and interesting because you really don't need anything special in here. In that jug, I have really beaten up pieces of small Java Ferns and even pieces of rhizomes with only few leaves. They are coming from 3 different tanks that I recently took down. And they are not the main plants. They were just growing deep between wood pieces, broke off, fell between some rock, and so on. So yes, they are basically plant leftovers, but this is good enough. I sorted them out, and this is what I ended up with. Lots of Java Fern rhizome pieces that are completely clean, and few pieces with tiny leaves on them. I separated them just to see if there will be any difference in growth and to see what is the best starting point. And this is why I have 2 separate grids in my box. So now I'm sprinkling my empty rhizomes on one of them and spreading them more or less evenly across the entire grid, just like you see on the video. This is one down. This is how it looks for now. It's nothing special, so let's move to the second piece. Those with leaves on them I treat a bit more carefully and put them manually one by one. But the point is the same. Spread them evenly, make sure they are on top of the grid and not squeeze under it. That's pretty much it. And this is how the box looks after I'm done. Very nice collection of not very nice plants. But now let's make sure they can survive in here. So next thing we need to do is add some water into it. We don't need a lot, but we do need to make sure that it's full of nutrients, so I'm adding some fertilizers already now. Next, I'm filling it to about half of the height of those grids. This is very important. So check it out. Bottom of those grids needs to be submerged, but the top part needs to be above the water surface. This is what we are looking for. Now we can finally close the lid, place a small light on top of it, and we are done. What I will do now is once a week open the lid for 1 minute to let the fresh air inside. On top of that, I will change this water every month. Yes, that is it. I don't do anything else. No spraying, no cleaning. All the moisture that evaporates from the water is kept inside, plants are close to the light source and have a lot of nutrients in their reach. So now let's make the first jump in time. First update looks promising. There are many new small leaves growing already, and existing ones actually got bigger. We don't have 100% survival rate, but this was expected. I was really starting with some plants that were almost dead. But what is also interesting is that difference between both grids, it's barely visible by now. I am quite surprised by this, but plants with no leaves actually got a better start. But this is not what you came here to see. So what I wanted to show you next was great growth after few months. But unfortunately, this is not always that easy. After additional few weeks, I was hit with big problems, and I will not hide them from you. My box was completely overtaken by fungus. Just look at this. This is not how it's supposed to look like. And the smell, you can definitely tell that it all went bad just by smelling it. And you should not smell any fungus that you don't know. It might not be healthy for you, so be careful. Those plants are beyond saving, and I had to throw all of them out. And this just cost me over 2 months of my time. And you know what? That's not even the worst part. You see, this is why this experiment took so long. It's because I had to make few versions of it. Yes, few versions. What you can see here is already my second attempt. My first approach was a bit different. I was using Leica as a substrate, and I was using a different container. But overall idea was the same. I started from tiny plants, and at the beginning I was getting some decent growth. But it all went wrong after more or less 6 weeks. I will not go through all the details because I don't want to waste your time. I'm just showing you what not to do and to warn you about it. So the mistake I made was connected to the ventilation. When I was propagating Anubias, I had zero problems, and I think I got too relaxed with Java Ferns. I just wrongly assumed that it will work the same, and I was leaving this box unopened for the entire week and sometimes 2. But Java Ferns have a bit different structure and root system, and that root system is much more susceptible to rotting and fungus infestations. So, in case of ferns, you should ventilate your plants more often. And I got punished for not doing that. But I learned my lesson and decided to change my approach and adjust to new information. I'm sharing this with you so you can avoid my mistakes and follow the best and fastest path. So here is what we do. I started over again with fresh plants and clean container. This time I started with only one grid and used cleaner plant pieces. I made sure that those rhizomes are healthy and don't have any rotting spreading already. It's also better if they have a little bit less roots. It's just another observation I made. So this is my new starting situation. All the rest is the same, so I will not waste time showing you the same things. The difference is that from now on, I will make sure to open and ventilate it much more often. So, let's see how it goes this time. After a few weeks, this is the situation. As you can see, we have nice growth and very healthy plants. There is no signs of any problems. But even though it looks good, I'm still careful. Last version also looked good after first few weeks. But this time, I will make a big change. I will switch my container to something a bit taller, and I will use all used plant pots instead of my grid. Here I have 10 of them, and I will use every single one. I'm doing it because I think that those specific plants don't do that well on empty plastic grid long term. They need something to hold on to. So starting from now, I will grow them on some kind of a medium. When I was propagating Hygrophila pinnatifida, I used filter floss with fantastic results. So let's try and use it with our ferns to avoid any potential problems after our very promising first step. I'm starting from cutting it into stripes, just like you see on the video. We need one stripe for each pot we are planning to create. Now I will take one plant and roll it inside this floss and place it in my pot, just like you see on the video. Look how great it looks. Exactly like potted plants that you buy in stores. I think those plants look just really cute. But anyway, I repeat the process for each plant. It's really fast and easy. I think that this way they can develop better roots because they will grow in the conditions that are a little bit more natural. This is how I want to avoid any problems with mold. I ended up with 10 great looking pots of tiny Java Ferns just waiting to grow. And I think they look great already. And remember, I'm placing all of them in my other container because they are taller now, so I need to provide them with some space. And just like last time, I'm pouring nutrient-rich water into it. This time it's a little bit more, just enough to almost cover my pots. Exactly like I'm showing you here. All the rest stays the same. I'm putting the lid on the box, I will place small LED light on top, and I will keep ventilating it regularly. No mistakes this time. I just cannot afford to lose even more time and more plants. So let's see what happens next. I cannot express how good it feels after all those months of fails to see the result like this one. Our ferns are finally doing fantastic. They are finally growing, and they are growing well. What a relief. There is a bit of algae on the bottom of the container, but this of course after all this time is normal. The point is, there is no fungus, no rot, no death. But we are not done yet. You might have a bad perspective about their size. They look big because this box is just full of them. In reality, when I pick one up, you can see that comparing to my hand size, they are not exactly huge. They did get bigger, obviously, but still, they do have some growing to do. But this box is now limiting them, so let's make a final update to this. Yes, we are going big. Now I will take each pot and place this clay ring on the bottom of it. Check it out, they are attached with their roots very nicely already. This idea with growth medium was really good move. But anyway, I'm using those rings because it will help my plants to stay in place and they will not tip over very easily. If you don't have those rings, don't worry, small rock will work great as well. After I'm done, this is what we get. And now you can probably see better their actual size. Comparing to much bigger box, those plants look smaller. But they do have enough space, they will have a lot of water, lots of humidity. The last thing they need is time. So let's give it to them and make our last jump in time. Oh yes, finally, what a great result. We have so many big Java Ferns. It finally worked as I planned. Big, mature Java Ferns grown from tiny rhizomes. It feels so good to finally show you that. This was problematic at the beginning, but you know what? I'm actually glad that I can show you the full story and full picture. Sometimes things don't work out the first time, so you do need to adjust, learn and try again. because the results can be really great. This is my result for sticking with it. Remember how we started and where we are now. This is an amazing end result. And you know what? I think I can scale it even more. And I'm already planning more content about it, because I do have few new ideas how to optimize it and make it even better. But this is the story for another video. If you want me to propagate something else, please share in the comments. I can totally do that for you. I do listen and make videos on demand. Please like this one, because I think that after all those months of work, it deserves it. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next one.